information that we've developed thus far, and there'll be a lot of information that we are working on putting together, so a lot of it will be very general. But apparently at about 9 o'clock this morning, a 15-year-old student entered into a classroom, entered into the rear door of the classroom, holding a firearm in his hand. As he entered into the classroom, he ordered everyone to get down. He walked up the aisle between the desk and the table, got to the front of the classroom, and pointed the firearm at a whiteboard and attempted to discharge the firearm. The firearm, for whatever reason, did not discharge. He then manipulated it. We believe perhaps took it off as safety, or maybe put a bullet in the chamber, perhaps, but for something, he did something that he then repointed the firearm in the direction of the teacher who was in the classroom. He momentarily had the gun pointed at the teacher, then he lifted it towards the ceiling of the classroom, pulled the trigger, and a single projectile discharged, striking the wall and ricocheting. At that point, he turned and exited the classroom. Prior to exiting, he did ask one student to come with him by name. The student did not move, and he exited the classroom. The teacher, following procedure, notified the principal and put the class on lockdown. The principal was beginning a conference. He responded immediately. As soon as he got into the classroom to complete the lockdown procedures, they heard a second shot. That second shot came from an adjacent boys' restroom facility where the student attempted to take his life. He shot himself once in the head. He has been taken to the local hospital where he is in critical but stable condition and has since been moved to a different hospital for further treatment. The school was put on immediate lockdown. There was a DARE officer who was at the school teaching classes, not in the area. She was in a different building, but she responded. Law enforcement came to the scene, secured the scene, went through the lockdown procedures, have completely searched every aspect of the school to make sure that this is an isolated event, that there aren't any additional potential students or anyone else might be involved. We've not discovered anything else. It seems isolated to this one individual, and the school is in the process of complete evacuation according to the protocol. Every student will be evacuated to a site where they'll then have crisis teams from the school system meet with them as a whole along with the faculty, and from that point there'll be a process to have students returned home to their parents. The investigation is, as you would expect, going to be intense and going to be ongoing. There are a lot of leads that we need to follow up. We've processed the area where the student attempted to take his life, which was the restroom facility. And at this point, we're just going to continue following leads, talking to anyone who might shed information. We don't know where the gun came from. We do know it was a semi-automatic .32 caliber.
Can you explain what's happening here now, your disaster plan, and how you're getting the kids out?
Well, the disaster plan is the school system disaster plan, and what they're doing is they're taking all of the students into a processing area where they can use the crisis debriefing teams and then have the students identified and then released to parents or guardians.
So
What
Sheriff,
kind of class?
Sheriff, he did. So the student didn't aim the gun at the teacher.
There was a point where he did actually point the weapon at the teacher, and but he did not discharge it directly at the teacher. According to the teacher, he intentionally lifted his arm and discharged it above her head, if you will.
What teacher and what classroom? Type of class was it?
It's a standard classroom, probably 25 by 25.
History, science, math?
I'm not sure. I don't know what the teacher was teaching, or other than giving instruction. It's in English. Oh, okay.
And how many students in the classroom?
Not sure. Maybe
25.
Any behavioral problems with this student, or?
Don't know anything about the student at this point. I do know the teacher has not taught this student, and she was not familiar with this student.
So that sounds awfully strange. Was he threatening her at all, or?
Well, he certainly did threaten her when he pointed a gun at her.
Is it believed that he was threatening the student he was trying to get to leave with him?
We don't know. He asked for a particular student to come with him. The student didn't move, and then he exited.
A male or female student?
Male.
And what kind of gun was it?
It's a semi-automatic .32 caliber.
Are there any weapons detectors here at the school? How did he get to school? And
They are weapon detectors available to the staff when they need them, but they're not required to go through any kind of metal detecting on a daily basis.
Any, again, past history with the student, anything that gives you an indication of why this may have happened, why he may have brought the gun to school?
Not at this point. We've not discovered anything, but that's the question that we have as well, and that's what we're pursuing.
Any
Where-
idea if bullying was an issue?
Don't know.
Sheriff,
Where-
you've been here Sheriff, for a while. Have you ever experienced this in one of your schools?
This is the first ever in Lafourche Parish. Now, we've had guns brought on campus on a couple of occasions, but we've never had a firearm that I'm aware of discharged on a campus.
Where exactly in the school did it happen?
I'm not sure I understand.
Like what part of the
Building.
maybe campus? Which building? Which kind of part of the school?
I guess it'd be the main building, the two-story building that you can see behind me, where the concentration of offices are and where the kids are kind of marching out. It would have been in that facility.
Where is the teacher right now?
She is talking to police detectives.
Have you investigators had opportunity to talk to his parents?
No, they have not.
How long has this teacher been here? Is she
Not
older
sure.
age or anything on her?
I think she said she was born in the 70s, so I would say she's, in maybe 30 or so.